What's up everyone? Thank you for tuning in to At Home Dude. Today we're gonna talk about 5 bad mealtime habits for children. And if you're new here, real quick, hit the subscribe button so you could tag along, and we'll be back right after this. Our first one is gonna be feeding your child from your plate. And this one usually starts when they start walking. A lot of times you'll be eating and they walk up to you and they want something to eat. I just want to encourage you not to do it because you don't want your child to end up like your dog. And we all know what I'm talking about. As soon as you get a plate of food, they're sitting there whining and will not leave you alone. It is much better to give them their own plate and give them something to eat and establish what eating is in a meal and sitting down to eat. Moving on to number 2 is going to be introducing sugar. I was very strict on this. My wife was not. So obviously I'm not a professional at this, but the main things I try to keep and pay attention to are how early I introduce sugar. So you don't want to introduce sugar to really young children, and then also how much sugar you're giving them. Just keep in mind that they're not an adult, so you may think it's a little bit of sugar for you, but they're much smaller, and so you just want to give them a small amount of sugar. For us, we pretty much stick to 1 candy a day, 1 sugary treat a day, and not anything too big. Now on special occasions, yeah, they'll go crazy and have all kind of sugar, a birthday party or something. Yeah, that happens, things happen. But from day to day, you just want to try to monitor it and keep it decent. Now, talking about sugar, this leads us on to our third one, which is juice. Juice is very sugary in itself, and basically my rule here is that I always water it down. So I'm always at least going half water, half juice, and I usually only give them 1 cup of juice a day. Sometimes that's morning, I'll give them their orange juice in the morning, or if I don't do that, maybe later on they can have a little bit of juice here and there. Too much juice is obviously unhealthy due to the high amount of sugar in it. But other than that, usually if it's 100% juice, you're looking pretty good. Just make sure you water it down at the very least. Number 4 is gonna be punishing them for not eating. It could be not eating or not eating vegetables. Really your ideal situation here is to test out and try things for them and see what they like, see what healthy foods they do like, and then you can give them those more often, and you can still try other things. But also in general, if your kid is not eating, I would say don't punish them for not eating. You can try to positively influence them to eat the food. But if they're not eating, sometimes you let nature take its course and let them go to sleep a little hungry, and then the next day they learn and they eat. Or there are some children that have problems with that, and at that point I would say seek a professional opinion on what to do in terms of kids who aren't eating for long periods of time. But overall, I just want to reiterate that if you take a negative tone towards eating, then a lot of times your energy would transfer to your child, and they'll have a negative viewpoint or stance on eating, and they might be a lot less open to trying new things or to eating the food that you actually give them. So our last one is gonna be structure. Not having structure can really throw your children off in terms of eating, and it'll result in a whole lot of snacking throughout the day, and that's not really what you want. There are legitimately times where I tell my son, oh, well, you have to wait until lunch to eat, or oh, you have to wait until dinner. Or sometimes there's snacks in between and things like that. And so I say, oh, okay, I can make you a snack. It's been a little while. And so I just want to encourage you to use those terms, breakfast, lunch, dinners, and snacks. And your children will start to understand the structure behind it and when you eat what. And also that your child can't just eat food whenever they want. They have to wait until certain times. This can encourage them to actually eat their food when it's time to eat, because they know, oh, there's gonna be time in between the next time they'll get some food. All right, so that was 5 bad mealtime habits. And as usual, I'm gonna ask, what bad mealtime habits do you have with your children? Throw them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe and the like buttons, and I'm out. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom.